Alright, this is a test. We're testing here. Test, test, test. Sound is working. Alright, welcome back guys, hope you're doing good. This is again Market Focus here, and we want to look at the markets, what has been happening right this week, see how it looks there. I have something new guys, I have a new cam here as well, check this out. This is basically just my computer webcam, but now I can kind of switch around like that. It's pretty nice feature, I like it. And yeah, so what has been happening this week? For me, it was not that much of a nice trading week, to be honest. This market was very difficult, like there was not much going on, right? And then we had some news in between, so we needed to be careful also the whole time. Didn't like it so much, right? And yeah, what else can we say? I did one nice trade on US 100, which I also made a video about, but this is just a test trade, because normally I don't trade like that, right, with the very small time frames. But I wanted to check it out because I know a lot of guys, right, they are on the opening and for the US indices and go there on the 1 minute chart and stuff like that. So I wanted to test it myself, and it was pretty good. It was a 3-to-1 trade. This was kind of nice. Other than that, I was in Euro USD longs, and I've been piling them up, and they are pretty good now. They're in profit, and I took most of that out already because now I'm not that sure. I think there will be a retracement again, but let's get the cam here again, right? So but we will look into that. Without further ado guys, let's go to the charts then. Alright, here you go. Here we are now in the overview guys. So we want to have a look at this, right? As you can see already guys, I mainly focus on Euro USD. This one is open here right now, and let's go actually to the full overview guys. This is a better. Alright, are we recording? Yes, we are. So what happened here basically? As you guys know, I have been kind of longing the Euro USD, and I did this around the Bollinger Band. So here one position, here, always around the Bollinger Bands. Actually, let's go to the 4 hours. This is better. Something like that, right? And then this move up came, which was nice, which finally made that I was in profit, and I took it out though because I didn't like this here. So it might pull back, and then I will do a re-entry next week actually on this. So but let's try to analyze it. I think it's difficult guys. I cannot really tell you any direction where this is going. It's very difficult, and keep in mind we have on Wednesday, we can have a look here, this Wednesday 18th we have this kind of news, building permits, but this is not major. I mean, it's a red news event, but it's normally not the major. Let's go here. This is the important stuff guys. As you guys can see, here we have the Fed press conference, and we have the economic projections, and importantly the Fed interest rate decision, right? There is this kind of ongoing debate. So with that being said, I think this is also the reason why the market is still a bit difficult to trade. Now let's have a look here. We want to do some analysis as much as we can, but like I said, I don't really have an outlook right here. I think it's pretty difficult for the time being. So let's start on the weekly. You guys know I always start on weekly. Actually, for the time being, my preferred target is still here to the upside. This is actually the target I had for a longer while, right? And this is also why I was gobbling up long positions, but which I threw out now because, like I said, you need to also a lot of times play the not so good risk to reward. I believe in dynamic risk to reward if you see that it's not working out. So the position was working out, gave me plus, but of course I have like higher goals actually. So I do believe the market will potentially, let's see, run up here. So that would be 230 pips from this support that I drew up here, and from the current level it would be 200 pips. But I assume there's a high chance that actually we will come down again before we would go up, right? I think there will be another major test of this support here. It might even dip again because we only have 2 weeks, as you can see on the weekly. I think a third one is needed. It might even become a deep one, we don't know. And after that, I'm assuming this will happen to the upside, but this is just my personal opinion, feeling. I don't have a high conviction on that, to be honest, because it's a lot sideways right now. Let's get the cam again. So it's in a correction right now, but the trend is still up, but there is a chance because we did, you know, we had a green one that engulfed here, so technically we're still in this up thrust, right, that has started technically here. So this engulfing right here gave me the conviction to prefer the long side always. So here it went up, 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 and this candle here, which was a big momentum candle, a little bit too aggressive, I guess. That's why it didn't go to the target anymore. There needed to be a retracement. This one is still holding, as you guys can see. So this is why there is currently no down thrust, but the problem is this kind of weekly close here. As you can see, this is kind of a weak close. You know, if it would have closed green, I would have said perfect, I will hold my long positions, it should, you know, easily run up here, but it didn't, because there's indecisiveness now. I think it's because of the news event on Wednesday, right, Wednesday evening. So with that being said, I will be careful here. I'm also now sidelined because I don't want to be involved in that. Probably gonna go in after the news event, right? So now, what is my preferred scenario? My preferred scenario is, like I said, it will come down again here, make a third touch, and then reject up, right? So this is my preferred scenario, but because this is red, we could also get now the first change of thrust. What do I mean by that? At the moment, it's not confirmed, but in case you would get another red week, right? Like, I'm trying to draw it here, like something like, okay, something like that, right? Imagine there's a red week here, pretty much momentum candle closing down here. Then we would have down thrust because all of this is solved to the downside. And if that happens, then I would change, of course, my approach. Then I would look for further downside, right? So we need to be careful. This is the key week now, where it will be decided how we will continue in the future, right? So for the time being, I prefer long. But that can change with a bad weekly close. That's basically the summary of that. So let's look at daily. I really like the momentum candle that we have built here. This is what I was expecting to see here, you know, this one. So this is also why I was gobbling up here the longs when it was down here, right? Because I expected this to come, because we are still thrusting up in the weekly. And actually, guys, what I don't like here is the Bollinger Bands. I don't look at them at the higher time frame, right? Normally they're turned off, because as you know, my strategy is on the high time frame, I'm price action driven. I only look at the few candles, the last few candles, and look at the price action. And then in the smaller time frames, I look more at the structure, zigzag up, zigzag down, you know, this kind of structure that you can see here, right? Down movement, and now actually we are up. So I will address this later, but this is basically what I'm looking here, and then I comparing this with the Bollingers, right? This is basically the strategy in a nutshell. I made some videos about the strategy, go check it out. So basically now let's go back on daily, right? So we do have this nice, yeah, engulfing here to the upside, showing me actually further upside to come, and it should go in the longer run. It should actually, you know, come up here. This is the first target, and here's the second target. So the thing is, though, weekly closed red, you know, that is kind of unnice. But this is the target of this momentum candle here to the upside on daily, right? And what I'm also seeing, a potential ABC corrective structure is done here. I hate these button in trading views, guys. They never work. You need to press super hard. So okay, so potentially ABC is finished here. Could be. It could also, however, become a deeper correction, right, or even change on the weekly. We need to be careful, but for the time being, I'm assuming it's an ABC here and finished, right? And that would also make sense. If you look here from the last low point, we pretty much almost tapped the 50%. Not there was a little bit missing, but pretty much there, right? So we will see what will happen, right? So for the time being, I prefer the long side. However, I'm assuming there will be a pullback here. Why am I assuming this? 4 hour, as you can see, now the Bollinger come in play. We are at the second and third standard deviation up here, so we are kind of expensive right now. And the Bollinger Bands are down here on the 4 hours, so it needs to catch up, right? So I'm assuming actually there will be some kind of retracement down here before it goes up again, right? Because it needs to catch up with the, maybe not the 4 hour, but at least the 2 hour, right? The 2 hour is right here, so I'm assuming something like that will unfold before we come back up again, right? Then in terms of structure, as you guys can see, there is kind of a shift here, which I like. We had like this kind of structure down, and here a clear new high point, so I'm assuming it will come down here again inside this. You know, this was resistance, now should turn to support, and then maybe come up like that. This is what my play is actually for next week, but we need to see. The news event is a lottery and it can change everything, right? So, but this is basically my outlook right now, as much as I can say about the EURUSD. We'll see, maybe it's not true. Maybe yes, we will see. Like I said, I don't have so much high conviction in this because the news event can change everything, right? And the weekly was not that much of a nice close, you know. So like I said, I'm assuming this is a down move to come here, and then probably a long possibility. So I will monitor it carefully, and I would like to play again this long, and you know, average in. I use always with average prices, guys, as you guys know, and to, you know, build an average position here, right? In case then it goes lower, I would do 3 averages like that in case it goes really down, right? And just gobble it up, and then I would like to hold it all the way actually to this high point, or even the more higher high point, which is this one. Should be the final target right before your USD turns down. So this one would even be higher, right? So we'll see, but this is basically my play for the moment. But like I said, it can change depending on how this will unfold here over time. Now guys, with that being said, we want to look also at some other pairs right here. Switching again with the cameras a little bit, that's pretty fun. We want to look at some other pairs, so let's go back here to the overview. So we want to look maybe next, let's have a look. What do we have? Actually, we can look at the other USD pairs just to compare how it looks there. Okay, now we have what is this, AUD USD. So now let's look at weekly. This one looks more easier to read to me. Actually, there's some drawing here, I want to delete it. So all right, so this one looks easier to read to me. So this is the weekly right now. Okay, you can see like that. And yeah guys, let's go to the overview as well. So we have it open right here. Let's get rid of the Bollingers, because like I said, I don't look at them in the high time frame, that's just confusing. So here I'm assuming as well, we have never kind of fished this high point here, right? This is missing. So I'm also assuming here in the AUD USD, I'm assuming next week first a pull back down to test the weekly low here, either the body or even the low point, something like that, and then come up here. This is a little bit easier to read because here we did actually have a switch from red to green after being anyway here trending up, right? So that looks pretty good. And daily, yeah, we can see we're trying to complete the correction here, so could be something like that, right? Coming down here again to test it, maybe wash it a little bit and then up. So here looks to me pretty good. I will monitor it. Could be a good long opportunity as well here, right? Yeah guys, looking pretty good. So with that being said, then we want to look maybe GBP USD. We want to see, you know, if we can see correlation here, you know, if they're aligning with each other. Also here we can see this clear momentum up, giving us higher targets here to the upside on the daily. And let's get rid of it. Okay, then here, yeah, weekly is not so good here, to be honest. I don't know if it's red or green. This is a lot of times why I don't trade GBP USD. I hate this pair, to be honest, because it's always faking and stuff, right? So I'm not gonna trade this. I trade Euro USD. It's much nicer. Doesn't fake around that much. Here, indecisive close. We are, however, still over the support. So I'm assuming there needs to be another wick that gets built here. Okay, these buttons to press them like crazy. Another wick down here and then up. Let's see what. Same idea as with the other ones, and here we have this kind of point here that I'm also assuming should be fished out right before going down, right? So let's have a look here. Now let's look at some other stuff. USD CHF. Nothing to say about this. It's just trending down. Doesn't give me any conviction that it will. I don't think it will turn around here much. Could do another one like that and then down. This doesn't look strong at all. So here still downside preferred. USD cut. I normally don't trade USD cut. It's too crazy for me. Here expecting actually some upside, right? And then maybe down. Don't know. This for me is a random. Let's go USD JPY. Oh, interesting. Finally. Maybe you guys remember in the last couple of videos we were talking about that there should be a nice short here, like when we looked at the weekly. As you guys remember, when we were back here on this candle, so I forgot you need to press like crazy so the buttons work in TradingView. So let's put this up here. So basically guys, this was back here some weeks ago. Let's do that. So it was like that, and then my prediction, this was easy one to call actually, with just thrusting down because of the intervention of the BOJ. And let's see the camera. So then the idea was this will come back up here and then go down, right? So more, and let's see how this worked out. Okay, so first faked a little bit down, then there's a pullback, and this is where the nice opportunity should be. So let's see, and there you go. And this one was a nice one. So this one worked out pretty well. And now let's look how this would have worked out actually, because I'm curious with my trading system. So okay, and let's go here on the weekly, right? So, and then we would go here on the 4 hour, so or 4 hour, 2 hour, and we would look at Bollinger Bands. Unfortunately, I didn't trade this. I totally forgot about this. I did this prediction or analysis in the video, and then I forgot to look at it, and then it was already gone, and then I was kind of pissed. But as you can see, this high point that went back here. So basically, the signal candle, guys, remember, is this one, right? So we wanted to have a pullback, and as you guys can see here, it went very nice into the Bollinger zone, did a engulfing, and this was the signal to short it. Now let's look in 2 hours, 2 hours. So here also, yeah, you maybe would have gotten in a little bit prematurely here. Can happen, but you can always average, right? I always use an averaging system because I know it's never going to be perfect. Maybe you would have shorted here with the idea to get it down from here, and then of course it went up higher to actually kind of take out some high points, right? Maybe this one a bit. This one was pretty easy. It would take it out, touch it a lot of times, right? Go over it and then under it again. So this is like a typical market behavior. There you need to be a little bit careful. Also look in structure, not blindly in the Bollingers. But the Bollingers, they help you as a filter, but they're not everything, right? So maybe you would have shorted here prematurely, but then use an averaging system, right? So here, pretty nice. Now this will get interesting again, because let's have a look now again here with the full overview. So because we are now down here, so I'm assuming this will stabilize here, but the thing, it will take some time, of course, and I think it can still push a bit down, right? It could come all the way here and then turn around, so we need to monitor it. It will probably take a couple of weeks, but if this it will change the thrust on the weekly, I would be on the buy side again. Now we're still in the thrust down, which has started basically here again or here, and actually the big trend started up here, right, all the way. There was a short-term correction, and then again here it's clearly thrusting down, so it will do more downside here, and but we need to see, it could well stabilize here in this area. That would also be maybe from the, yeah, we are at 61 right now. I still think it's gonna go all the way to 76 probably, and then change direction. We'll see, but I would monitor this, right? So then what about EJ? It's gonna be same story, right? Yeah, I think we need to take out this low point. Actually, here's a little bit more downside still than in the other one, I guess. So here a nice play for next week could be, if this somehow comes back here again on the weekly high, I would try to short it down here, right? So I'm assuming these kind of low points here would still need to get touched, right? So let's see. So I'm assuming there's still downside here as well, and after that it could be nice for a long, right? Something like that, and again then you can compare it with the 4 hours. Right now the 4 hour is down, 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 but let's say it would come up again, maybe let's do it full screen here. Maybe you can see there is a area where it broke, so preferably first it's probably gonna fish this, then it's gonna come up something like that, and then it should be in the second, third standard deviation once it's up here, and then maybe another push down, right? Something like that. So still downside preferred here, and of course I work with averaging systems because I never get the right point, especially not if you hold for like a longer time. If you swing trade a little bit, you need to work with averaging. If you scalp in a day, in an intraday, then it's something different, right? So yeah, then GJ is gonna be the same story, right? I also here more downside preferred. This can actually still move quite a bit. Actually, yeah, this could move quite a bit here still, so maybe nice here on GJ. So if this somehow comes up again, I would prefer the downside. This looks like there is still something to gain here in terms of distance, right? There's still a lot. Interesting. Then let's keep going, guys, because we want to wrap it up then. And now let's look at indices. Difficult here, I'm not gonna lie. This is difficult, guys. This is difficult. What is even monthly doing here? Indices are normally always up, right? So it could be actually what I was first preferring was a correction like that, right? But we know the indices, they don't like to correct and they like to go up like a rocket always, so might be finished here, I don't know. Technically though, it's still down, thrusting down, right? So very difficult to call. Could be either like a running flat here and finished already, or it could be the next week completely coming down again, and then we still would have this kind of move, right? This move would make a lot of sense. Not sure if it's gonna happen though, because indices, I have also the policy on indices long only, I never short it. So but there could be in the cards that it's coming up like that and then again targeting this low point. It could be in the cards, but I would also not be surprised if it just pushes through, because indices are rockets. But we can see here second, third standard deviation in the 4 hour still has some room here, and maybe then come down would make sense. So need to monitor it. I cannot make any like prediction here. Would need to see how spontaneously how it evolves, right? So here then let's look at US 30 here. So this one let's have a look. This one, the same story kind of. Here it's actually a clear down signal here. It opened up a down thrust, so I would assume there is more to come. But yeah, like I said, indices, they want to go up always. Actually, let's do a hack. Let's look at 2 weeks then quickly. Doesn't help much either. Yeah, no, 2 weeks actually looks strong. Yeah, might push through then. We'll see. So indices, I will try not to make any prediction, but if I have to say something, they're always long. So try not to short them too much, right? I mean, I never short them. My policy is anyway long only. But here maybe something like that would come down here again, and then something like that, right? Maybe, we'll see. Then S&P 500, maybe lastly, let's do that to wrap it up here. Same story. Actually, down thrust opened here. Still in down thrust. I don't know, it's hard. I would prefer here actually this move, right? Need to see. Okay, indices, I'm not gonna make any prediction about this. It's too difficult. It will be decided on the 18th then, I guess, with the Fed. And yeah, so then let's look at gold. Gold has turned into a rocket again, right? With the prospect of rate cuts. So it's just going up, and I'm a little bit disappointed in myself that I forgot to look at it. I mean, I rarely trade gold, but sometimes you have these very nice opportunities. And this is not surprising. Of course, we need to turn on the Bollinger Bands, otherwise we're confused. So on the bigger time frames, we don't want to see them. Now it's looking pretty clear. Actually, here is just a thrust up, right, which is over and over again these very nice momentum candles which engulf everything. And now again, and yeah, the target of that one, the last one, is basically, check it out, here to the upside, right? 2600. So almost reached. And as you guys remember, I analyzed gold and made a video about it, and I always said 2600 is a goal where it should come, and we are finally here now. So yeah, we'll see. That was like my goal. We'll see what happens there, not sure. But actually, how did I knew it? I measured it from here, I guess, right? This kind of breakout. And yeah, so this is the area. We can actually go over to the 2600 a bit, but basically we are here in the target area. So target is completed, and maybe here some pullbacks will start again, right? So something like that in gold, right? And this one was very nice because on the weekly, like I said, clear up thrust with this kind of candle. And then again, if you go here into the smaller time frames, so let's do split screen again. Here is the weekly up. Let's go to the smaller time frames like the 4 hour, and again we want to check out how it looked here. So here were very good points. This one, Bollinger's here again, here again. So this one was very nice, right? So there were cheap prices here always on these kind of pullbacks, and that was basically it. What I don't like too much is though on the weekly, it didn't quite close this gap, right? As you can see here, if you look closer, push it up a little bit like this. Here, it didn't quite tap it, right? Here, I was thinking that it should actually tap this a bit and then go up, right? So I would have expected a little bit deeper pullback actually, but it didn't do that, right? For example, there's a kind of a point here, but here, the last like low point, maybe here or here. Yeah, for me it's like it didn't correct like enough. It should have been down there actually and then come up, but it's okay. So gold still rocketing up, so still preferring the long side. So whenever this comes back in the 4 hour Bollingers or 2 hours, still upside preferred, long side preferred. But at 2600, between 2600 and 2650, somewhere there is actually the target area, and I think it will top out there. And yeah, but we need to see, because seasonality wise, gold actually is kind of getting stronger in end of the year, especially December. So we need to see what happens. Good. With that being said, guys, I think this is enough for now for the market focus, and that's all I have for now, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Let's go to the full screen. Catch you in the next one, guys. Take care, and yeah, peace out. A lot of success with your trades. Bye bye.